the month of gay people, let's say that, is on the horizon, which I thought had already passed, but I guess not. I don't keep up with that stuff, but I need to learn just for the sake of understanding that a lot of what I talk about is going to be incredibly amplified on this month. We already talked about multiverse aspects and how DC is using this gay shit with their characters. Marvel is, of course, that's how the companies work to try to outdo each other. Like, who could signal to that community the most? And Marvel has a the story. This is almost like the new Warriors, right? And as level we had like screen time and fucking safe space and shit, all that, and Snowflake. Like that book never got published, by the way. It was that bad. This is almost another example of, they're gonna put this one though out for sure. As reported here, Marvel introduces an incredibly powerful transmutant, and this is in Marvel Voices Pride. And they're going to introduce a transmutant to the publishers, of course, universe, talking about Marvel. In a press release, Marvel announced that a new mutant by the name of Shayla Sexton, a.k.a. Escapade, will be debuting in Pride issue #1. In a story by Charlie Jane Anders, and is drawn by people that I don't give a shit about. The press release provided a brief summary of Escapade's power, saying she can instantaneously switch physical locations. With another person or trade any specific physical or abstract attribute. This is a meme. Such as possessions, organizational status, skills, superhuman power. She's a trans hero that can basically, her power is being trans. If you think about it, that's essentially what it is. She's able to switch spots with other people, which you think about is like a meme of basically trans people. This is why I say this is akin to the Snowflake safe space shit. It's like the same thing. Escapade is only able to maintain the power for a few hours at a time and must be within 7 feet of her target. And the more complex the switch, the higher chance of a mishap. That's it. It's a literal transgendered character whose powers is being trans. That's what it is. But in a way, it kind of is like, well, you're really not that person or not that thing. Is that the route you? I don't know. I say, hey, I want to see how that audience that they're trying to cater to actually takes that shit, because this is funny as fuck. Because it almost delegitimizes what it is, because all it does is really it highlights how, well, you're not really that. If you think about it, I mean, technically. But they're going to explore Escapade's life, career, and experience as a transmutant. Escapade will be working with her best friend, Morgan Red, as a professional thief when Emma Frost and Destiny. This encounter will change her life forever. The press release also hints at a deadly prophecy surrounding Escapade. Speaking about the book and character, Anders, who has won number of high-profile awards in science fiction writing, said, "I have loved the Marvel Universe for as long as I can remember and may or may not sing the Spider-Man cartoon theme in the shower on a regular basis. So I was thrilled to be able to introduce a brand new a brand new hero to stand alongside my favorites. I hope the Escapade and Morgan Red will inspire trans and non-binary people everywhere to believe that they too can fight justice with the power of creativity and chosen family. You know, when you write things with the hope, like this is what it is. So you're telling me right there, and I've repeated this many, many times. You're telling me that was the reason why you did it. I mean, if it wasn't any more blatant from the fact of the powers or the fact that this person is, or this book is being released and it's literally titled Pride, or Marvel Voices Pride. So we know that the gay shit is the only reason why you're doing it. But what these talentless hacks seem to be unable to understand is that you take a shot at the artwork when you have an audience that you obviously, yeah, I get it. You have an audience in mind that this is who this is going to be for. But when you lead with like the aspects of like sexuality in this case, or it doesn't matter if it's race or whatever, you're like, hey, I'm writing with the purposes of signaling. Often your work is going to be bad because you're not doing it for the right reasons. You're not writing a character that happens to be that way. Like, it's one thing to write a character that's black that happens to be black, makes sense for them to be black, but you know, the story in itself comes first, right? You're not writing that character to be that. Like, it's not like, hey, I'm writing this character because I want people to give me a pat on the back and I want all the headlines of my character being blackity black, 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 which is, you know, they did the same shit, I guess, during Black History Month as well. But when you do shit like that, your story has nowhere else to go but be shallow. And then what's going to happen is people are going to reject it, or it's not going to be supported in mass like you expected it to be. And then you're going to claim that the audience is fucking racist, or in this case, transphobe or homophobe. The reality is, I don't give a shit how many awards this guy's won or how profile they are. They're probably fake ass awards anyway. But when you lead with that type of stuff, your work takes a hit. We know it. We can sniff it out. And it's boring as fuck. Why can't the character just happen to be that? Why is it that we have to, and they said, like, this is the whole point of the book. It says right here, this is what the report is. It will explore Escapade's life, career, and experience as a trans mutant. Like, you're leading with the superficial shit. Dead on arrival, but hey, it'll come out. I'm not gonna buy that shit. I told you I'd never do that, but I will make fun of it. You just listened to a clip from my podcast, For Canon's Sake, which is live throughout the week at 12 p.m. Central on youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. Be sure to check out my website, ericdjuly.com, so you can stay up to date with everything it is that I'm doing. You can also become a member and get access to a bunch of cool perks and exclusive content, which includes a social media hub where you can interact with myself and other members. It even has an app that you can get, which is now live in the Google and Apple stores.